What is a convalidation, and what are the effects of a sacramental marriage? So let's start with the first question. What is a convalidation? So to the Lord, and thereby, to the church, marriage is a sacred covenant. It's a sacrament. It's not just a legal contract. Marriage is meant to be a lifelong partnership, open to children, and also reflecting the love of Christ for his church. For a union to be valid, a valid sacrament in the eyes of the church and the eyes of God, the marriage must be celebrated according to specific rules, known as canonical form. That's the term we use for it, which includes vows, which are exchanged before a priest or a deacon. And there also must be at least 2 witnesses. And unless it's dispensed by the bishop, it must also take place in a church. Now, if either the bride or the groom marries civilly without this canonical form, without those regulations, the church considers the marriage invalid because it is not sacramentalized, right? It's not a sacrament. It's legally binding in the eyes of the state, in terms of civil law, but it's not recognized by the church. Now, this is where a convalidation comes in, right? A convalidation is the process where a couple already civilly married has their union recognized and blessed, or as I would say, sacramentalized by the church. It's not just a blessing, but the transformation, right? Transforming of their relationship into a sacrament. The Lord is raising those who are being convalidated, those who are entering into the sacrament. It raises that relationship into a sacramental relationship, meaning that by this sacrament, they become signs of God's love in the world. That's amazing. Now, what are some effects of a convalidation? Well, the most significant effect is that the marriage becomes valid in the eyes of the church, right? And in the eyes of God. So after a convalidation, a couple is now truly married according to their faith. Second, now that the marriage is a sacrament, the marriage now confers God's grace upon the couple, strengthening their bond and helping them to live out their commitment to God and his church. So that's another effect. A third effect is that now that this marriage is a sacrament, the couple is now in full communion with the church, right? Able to receive other sacraments like the Eucharist or Holy Communion. Fourth, because the convalidation process often involves marriage preparation, this can help deepen the couple's understanding of their faith. And so that's a huge effect of convalidation, is that it strengthens their understanding, deepens their understanding, but also their commitment to each other. It teaches the couple how the sacrament of marriage is different than a mere civil union. Now, lastly, for couples with children, a convalidation can really bring a sense of spiritual unity to the family, as their marriage is now recognized by the church, and they can now practice their faith as one united family. That's one of the most beautiful things to see, is to see how convalidation unifies. It brings together an entire family and strengthens their own faith, strengthens their relationship with the Lord. Now, it's important to note, convalidation, it's not just like this formality. It's this thing that kind of dots the I's and crosses the T's, and that's it. It requires a genuine desire from the couple to live out their marriage according to Catholic teachings. That's why it's a serious step. But the serious step brings with it a good bit of responsibility, but so many blessings, because you're now in right relationship with the Lord. So convalidation it's a mercy of God, but it's also a huge gift of God, a gift to the couple, a gift to the church. And so it is one that we should all be participating in, right? Marriage, getting our marriages blessed, getting our marriages sacramentalized in the eyes of the church, in the eyes of God.